converted into 2 hotels, leisure complex, an aquarium which is now open, and also luxury apartments. But also there to our right, the largest Ferris wheel in Europe, the London Eye, being sponsored by Golden Eagle as a memorial to the men and women who had lost their lives during the First, Second World War. The eagle was made out of captured enemy cannon. It does point directly towards France, where a lot of our airmen and women lost their lives. Now you see the bridge opened in 1945. During the construction of this bridge, they had to have mostly women working on it, because most of the men was away in the armed forces. You notice how clean the face of the bridge looks. The reason being for this, it's made of a very expensive Portland stone. When it rains, it cleans itself. As we're going through the bridge, look up above you, you'll see how dirty it is underneath. That's where the rain don't penetrate. Through the bridge to our left, the large impressive building with a green dome in the centre. That's Somerset House, where all the births, deaths, marriages of this country was registered. Now they're offices for the Inland Revenue. This building used to be known as the Atcham, Matcham, Dispatcham Department. All they do now, of course, is catch them. To our right, see the grey building with the advertising sign. That's the National Theatre. This building recently was voted by 10 of our leading architects as the ugliest modern building. Example of this, in about 6 hours time, see the lions at the top of the wall there to our left. They'll be taking a drink in about 6 hours. Are we all enjoying it so far? Yeah? Now the next bridge, the new Millennium Footbridge, when this opened in the year 2000, it cost £18 million, but it was only open for a few days and it had to be closed. As people walked across, it sprayed from side to side. As you can see, it's now reopened. It cost another £5 million to put right. But through the bridge to our right, see the white timber construction? That's manufacturer and automaker. He unfortunately passed away. His daughter Zoe took over the completion. Opened in the summer of '98, now playing summer Shakespeare. But ahead of us to our right, dominating the skyline, the tallest office block in Western Europe, the Shard. You can now book up, visit the viewing gallery, get a magnificent view of London. 1973, by Her Majesty the Queen, the old London Bridge was took down stone by stone. It was shipped off to America, where it now stands in Lake Havasu, Arizona. Column with a golden ball of fire on the top. Now this is the monument designed by Sir Christopher Wren to commemorate the Great Fire of London of 1666. That's just coming into view now in the gap in the buildings there. If you laid the monument down in an easterly direction, it But as we pass the Belfast, see that modern round glass building to your right? The towers of the world famous Tower Bridge, opened in 1894, built in its Gothic style to blend in with the Tower of London. The centre bascles of the bridge were raised to allow shipping through, by over 1,000 tonne apiece. They used to be lifted by an hydraulic mechanism which only needed a pint of water to set them into motion, which was quite a feat of engineering. Now they work electrically, they break down a lot more. But through the bridge to our left, we have our next stop. Now please check your tickets. Inside the pier, it gives the captain better vision of going alongside. And also, for the people leaving us here, this is where I conclude with a guided part of your tour.
I am having
that part with his invited guests. Having a moment. Now, just ahead of us to our left, we have more of the construction work to do with the new sewer system we're building. But see the peculiar red bricked apartments just past there to our left? Apparently, the reason they're designed like this, there's over 400 apartments in that complex, and each one of them has a river view. But these apartments, they stand on the site of Free Trade Wharf. The name Free Trade Wharf dates back to the Plague of London. During the plague, would come up the river, fear of catching the plague, so London was starving. The only ships what would was the Dutch, and this is as far up the river as they would come over there to our right. So the government of the day gave the name of that wharf the name Free Trade Wharf. Has any Dutch ship coming up the river done so free of charge? Look to our right now, see the sandy coloured building, Globe Wharf. In the river wall, got the black and white bridge going across with a writing underneath, Limehouse Marina. If we had a canal barge, this is where you could join up with the canals of England. And you can go as far up these canals as Birmingham and Manchester and beyond. That's the Limehouse Marina on our way to the beach. Now when we come round this bend, this next stretch of the river is called Windy Reach, and you'll realise why very shortly. But that's in Greenwich, also information of times of return in boats. But I'd just like to point out the commentaries on these boats on the River Thames, they are done on behalf of us the crew.